to this short presentation for the PEACEPLUS Theme 6 Investment Area, Strategic Planning and Engagement main call. This presentation will provide some context to the call document and its requirements and marks the third call in this theme. The first, the mini call, looked at identifying best practice in cross-border partnerships. The second, Clean Air, was called out specifically in the development document for PEACEPLUS Theme 6, Building and Embedding Partnership and Collaboration. It is anticipated that there will be a further call in this investment area in the coming months. Main objectives are to reduce the legal and administrative barriers to cross-border collaboration through joint development and management of strategies and result in the improved capacity for cooperation at strategic level. Note that PEACEPLUS primarily concerns the Northern Ireland and border counties as key recipients, but the concept of cross-border can include north-south, east-west, island of Ireland, or wider contexts. In essence, if you are making an application in this investment area, you need to make very clear in your application what cross-border issue you are trying to tackle and how you are planning to address it. There is 18 million euros of funding available in this call. The outputs and results that we are seeking for this investment area are listed here and are available in the call document. This call and any future calls will all contribute to the outputs and results. It is not for this particular call to achieve all of the outputs and results outlined, though we would anticipate that a fair portion of them will be. A jointly developed strategy is aimed at establishing a targeted way to achieve a solution to a cross-border obstacle. An action plan translates an existing jointly developed strategy into pilot actions. The organizations must be participating in the project as partners or associate partners in order to be counted towards the achievement of outputs or results. The targets for the outputs and result indicators must be achieved by 2029. The investment area has a key focus on the following elements: support to identify key obstacles and unused potential, support to bring the key actors together, support for the process of finding solutions to reduce these obstacles or exploit the potential, support for cross-border entities, support to identify areas where important cross-border data is missing and support projects to fill the gaps in the context of its vital nature in the future. Types of action could include collaboration and dialogue, feasibility studies and data collection, strategies, pilot project and demonstration activities, capacity building and skills research, and skills hub. We have some more specific information for those interested in applying under the skills hub category. This action looks to explore and establish the capacity of key stakeholders, north and south, to develop shared responses to the skills development and needs in an increasingly competitive global economy, where issues of maximizing workforce participation and managing the evolution of skills are vital. These are currently delivered within specific jurisdictional frameworks. While investment area elsewhere in PEACEPLUS will deliver actions or responses, they will not address key underlying administrative or regulatory policies. The responses should seek to address the following. Firstly, to undertake research to identify capacity of education and training providers for shared strategies to engage with marginal or hard to reach NEETs, North and South. Development of shared strategies to respond to areas of skills shortages, North and South. Using existing data resources, North and South, on the identification of future skills demands to develop shared responses to those needs. Development of organisational structures for stakeholders to provide for sharing of good practice models to respond to skills demands. Potential of shared data resources to enable the forecasting of skills demands on an all-island basis. And lastly, assessment of capacity of regional or local authorities to develop community skills or employment initiatives with border regions. The objective of the research commissioned in this action is to explore the barriers to responses to shared social, economic, and skills development needs, in addition to the identification of practices across Europe which may serve as a model for the island. And generally in your applications, you also need to express which sectors you aim to cover. And with respect to policy alignment, normally in a PEACEPLUS application, we highlight Northern Ireland and wider policies that your application should align to. As we are not mandating which sector or policy area your application should cover, applicants should identify which policies their application relates to. If your application arrives in time and has all of the mandatory attachments uploaded, assessors will begin assessing your application. Assessors will use 7 criteria to score your application. In criteria 1, we're looking at if in the application are the objectives clear? Are the proposed output and results indicators realistic and achievable? Are the outputs and results what we would expect for in this investment area? Does the application build on existing practices and contribute to wider strategies? Is it a good fit with a strategic context? Is there a project focus on direct contribution to peace, reconciliation, or prosperity? Is there a focus on social cohesion, disadvantage, or economic growth? How does a project engage or intend to engage with stakeholders or groups that are relevant to these goals? In criterion 2, we're looking at, is there a plausible project intervention logic? Is it well designed and presented? Are the outcomes clearly defined, realistic and quantifiable? Is there a clear link between the need, objectives, resources, activities, outputs and results? Can the indicators be realised in the time frame? Does the project build on any previous work? Is the work plan realistic, consistent and coherent? Within work packages, with good objectives, activities, deliverables and outputs, they must be well designed and presented using sound intervention logic. Are there high quality design and sustainable principles showing the viability of project legacy? Is there the use of best practice and/or innovation, monitoring and evaluation arrangements, use of experts, long-term viability? Are there relevant target groups and stakeholders? Have the barriers to participation been considered? In criteria 3, we look at what are the added value does cooperation bring? How are the proposed results and outputs are enhanced by cooperating on a cross-border basis? How does it add to what's out there? Is cooperation adequately demonstrated across the partnership? Plans for joined up working across development, implementation, financing, staffing, evidence that implementation of the planned cooperation is achievable? Is there a balance of partners across jurisdictions? Is there a logical division of tasks? A justifiable division of budget? Does the cross-border cooperation add value? In criterion 4, we look at, is there a project team with the right skills and experience to lead the project? Is the project structure able to deliver the outputs? Is there sufficient staff and plan for implementation? the meeting schedules, agreed lines of responsibility, reporting, accountability, experience of managing projects of a similar size and scope, partnership composition relevant for the proposed project. Is there a well-organized operational management structure? Is there adequate control and transparency? Is there good governance, a right mix of experience, qualification, and expertise? Is there competence in the thematic field? Are there complementary skills partners are able to participate in, deliver, and maintain the project? Are there practical arrangements for the smooth implementation, staff supervision and support? Is there a lead-in time for staff recruitment, selected partners with sufficient capacity? For criterion 5, we're principally looking at 4 main things. Is the budget coherent and proportionate? Is there a balanced and realistic financial contribution between partners? Is there good or justifiable balance per jurisdiction? Is the budget used in accordance with the principle of economy? Has a best value for money been evidenced? Are there the lowest costs for what's needed? Benchmark costs where possible. Has an accompanying budget spreadsheet been provided? Is there a detailed, clear and realistic breakdown of costs per year or period in line with the project requirements? Is the budget in line with the principle of efficiency? The quantity, quality and timing of costs, has this been reasoned and justified? Is the budget in line with the principle of effectiveness? Is the intervention additional, i.e. without PEACEPLUS the proposed work could not be done? Are there any sustainability implications, if any? For criteria 6, we're looking at the positive contribution to sustainable development. It's very important to use the horizontal principles guide here. This will identify which specific SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, you need to evidence in your application. Consider all 17 SDGs and match your project to the goals and make a judgment as to how well each goal relevant to the project is achieved. Consider whether your application should include an environmental impact assessment. For criterion 7, the project must make a positive contribution to and reference the principles of equal opportunities, non-discrimination and good relations in respect of religious belief, political opinion, gender, race, disability, age, and marital status, dependence and sexual orientation. Equally, it must also take positive contribution and reference the principle of equality between men and women, gender mainstreaming, and the integration of a gender perspective. Projects must create an account on GEMS if you have not done so already. Upon registration, you are then able to upload all application data, assign access to other GEMS users to collaborate on the application, and submit the application to PEACEPLUS by the closing date. In advance of your application, please visit the PEACEPLUS portal and consult the PEACEPLUS program manual, which will give you information on all of the program rules and processes. You can also find the PEACEPLUS overview, how to apply on GEMS guide, GEMS offline template, external controller guidance costs, EU state aid and UK subsidy guidance, horizontal principles guidance, the template partnership agreement and mandatory attachment templates, and the standard conditions of grant. In terms of the timeline, this call opened on the 20th of March and closes at 5 p.m. on the 15th of May 2025. A steering committee is planned for mid-October 2025. And Section 7 of the call document gives a breakdown of the €18 million funding available in this investment area. We look forward to receiving your applications.